some of the genes which have been studied are genes that are related to the development of the brain. So if you, for instance, make knockouts of some of these genes, you will be able to see that you will get microencephaly, or very small brains, so suggesting that these genes are involved in developing a large brain. Some of the other interesting genes is this FOXP2 gene, which appears to be highly related to the formation of language abilities. So this FOXP2 gene is a gene which is not found in chimps, but it's found in humans today, and possibly it has been there also in some of the earlier races of humans, so in the Neanderthals and maybe even before. We don't know, of course, because it's difficult to get any genetic information from these extinct species. However, if we look at the genetic differences, I mean, humans and chimpanzees, they only differ with somewhere around 1 to 2%. So it's actually very small differentiation there is between humans and chimps. And some of the more recent research which has been done within the last few years has actually been to sequence genes from ancient bones from both Neanderthals and also a very small bone was found from the little finger of an previously unknown human species, which later got the name Denisova from the cave where it was found. So what some researchers in Leipzig did was that they were actually able to sequence the genome from these ancient, so maybe 30,000-year-old bones, and be able to see how they differed from normal humans. So what you have here is the variation of the human genome, and they were then able to sequence also the Neanderthal genome and then later on the Denisova genome, and found out that there has actually been some humans which were unknown to research until very recently living in Central Asia, suggesting that these may even have lived there for millions of, or maybe thousands of years. Because we have no other fossil evidence than this very small, tiny bone that was found, well, this is quite astonishing. And if later on these people have actually looked at the genomes and compared the genome of the Neanderthals with the humans and also with these Denisova people and humans, and found out that it appears that actually 1 to 4% of the human genome is having Neanderthal genome in it, in at least Europe. So it appears that there has been some sort of interbreeding between modern humans and Neanderthals, possibly appearing in somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere around 70,000 years ago. And then the outcome of this interbreeding has then spread to Europe. But if you then look at the African population, they don't seem to have these, at least if some representative samples from the African population don't seem to have this this sign of Neanderthal genome in them. So there seems to be some type of interbreeding between the species. Also, if you look at people from Southeast Asia, you will actually see that they share even more of their genome with what was discovered from these Denisova people from Siberia. So there also seems to have been some type of interbreeding between modern humans when they have spread into Southeast Asia and the Denisovas. So that has been only very recently discovered and has really changed the way that we think of the human evolution, that it's not just individual species, but there is also interbreeding between the species. So in this course, we hope at least to be able to, based on how the brain is structured, to be able to go from at least some of the abilities that are really basic for all humans. So the ability to hunt and move around to then create artifacts and pieces of art, and later on to be able to invent technologies such as agriculture, and later on language, written language, to more deep thoughts such as the ones Aristotle made, and what also artists like Leonardo da Vinci made, and later on all the science that gave rise to the quantum mechanics, and later the industry, and now today where we're able to look into the universe and have some ideas of what took place before we were living here. So, and this is something that the modern human brain is able to do, at least all of these things, and I hope that through this course we will be able to get at least somewhat better into these ways of being able to act. So yeah, that was a brief introduction. Any questions? No? Okay, I suggest a small break.